Hello everyone, my name is Noah and you join me live here on twitch.tv/4cloak for the Atlantic Carrier 160. It is CASCAR, the Schroeder Plumbing Cup Series at Nashville Super Speedway. Here for the Atlantic Carrier 160. Honestly, I am excited for such a fantastic race tonight. It's 14 degrees of banking here on this concrete D-shaped oval. We're in for a treat. So let's go and run through your field and see how everybody did in qualifying. So, starting on pole position, the number 22 Chevrolet Camaro for Great White North Racing, it's Greg Snellgrove. Alongside is going to be number 41 of Richard Drake. In row number 2, inside lane, bringing up third position is Kyle Mundell with Rob Carl alongside. Row number 3 is going to go to the fifth position of Brian Freddy and in 6 of Michael Jennings. Row number 4 goes to Cody Snyder and Paul Ems. In the fifth row, starting in ninth, is going to be Wes Gallo with Brandon Fiedler alongside. That's an EG sweep right there for row number 5. Row number 6 is going to go to Matt Malavagna and Michael Sparks. And row number 7 is going to have Mark LaPierre and Patrick Coluccio. Row number 8 is going to be the 15th position of Tyler Hallahan in the 88 with Sylvan Seguin alongside. Finally, bringing up the rear of the field is not going to be Stephen Black because he's not here, but Jeffrey Belk and Ashton Reiki, who failed to set a time. With that, we are off to a very quick start here tonight. It's only 1.33 miles for this track, 1.33 miles per lap here at this track. So that means it's going to be a constant battle to see who we can go. And that is going to be the green flag here at the Atlantic Carrier 160. Pretty good start there from Greg Snellgrove as we dive into turn number 1. Let's go ahead and zoom in a bit so we can see just a little bit more of this fantastic racetrack. It's a concrete D-shaped oval run by Dover. So it's good to see this. You know, this track was able to be returned here in this season's NASCAR, so that's why iRacing has it up on the schedule, and it's great. First lap led is going to go to Greg Snellgrove, who's off to really a fantastic start. You can see him pulling away already. He was talking a little bit before the race started. He forgot to run his Atlantic Carrier scheme, funnily enough. So he's there in his wild cards scheme. As they round turn number 2, now we see Kyle Mundell still up in second position as of now, able to get around through with his November number 34. As I mentioned before, he had switched from Toyota to Chevrolet this season, expanding Grand River Racing from a one-car operation up to, I believe, 4 now. No, 3, I believe. Him, Coluccio, and Ben McDonald, who's unable to make some starts lately, so due to some sporting events. With that, though, he's going to be able to run on through as he's got Rob Carl there right on his tail. We've seen Rob every now and then. He just gets some of these tracks just absolutely figured out, and I think this might be time for one of them. You see he's got a big old dent there in the rear. I'm assuming this is coming from a big push he got on the start. Richard Drake, another guy that we've seen before that just likes to come out and dominate the show every now and then. He's still running up front as of now. We're going to see if he can hold on to this and maybe score himself a race win. Brian Fradian, though, on the tail end of this group up here for running out your top 5. He's got his teammate at Wes Gallo, pseudo-teammate, my apologies. Wes Gallo right behind him. Fradian there with that Victos number 81, hoping to make some gains now as they run through turn number 4. Pretty clean start out of these guys. It's about lap number 5 now. With that, that means that this is going to become a lot harder of a race for these guys to race with. Tire degradation is insane at this track. You get 5 laps in, and your tires are already warm. With that, though, they do like to hold on for quite a while. We're going to see pit stops probably coming in at around lap number 30. But halfway through the stage, see if they're up on your top left. The stage is going to be on lap number 60. Halfway through this race, it's 120 laps. Nashville Super Speedway. We do not talk about Nashville Fairgrounds and how that went last season. Those that know, and those that don't, keep it that way. Doesn't need to be talked about. Rob Carl has made up some positions now, up into second position, trying to chase down Greg Snellgrove, but he just hasn't had the pace quite yet. But we're going to see how Greg is going to have to handle this currently degrading tire set already. Talking to some of the other guys before the race had started, it seems like the high line is not going to be the absolute dominant force here at this track. Trying to keep probably more of a consistent center line. Moving around is going to be what you're going to have to do. Thank you very much for the follow. I do appreciate it. Make sure you check out our social medias. That's YouTube, Instagram, Anywhere else you can find us, the website, www.forkloak.net, for more. That's 2 fellows. All right, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Welcome here to the Forkloak community. Through turn number 2 they go now. Greg Snellgrove still out in the lead. He's been able to hold on to it every single lap thus far there in that number 22. He's still got Rob Carl, though, right behind. Kyle Mundell still in third, not allowing them to go anywhere. Freddie Ann up into 4th position, though. Drake is on the bottom. They're going to be duking this one out for 4th position. Not too much further behind, though, is going to be Brandon Fiedler and Wes Gallo, though, hoping to help out their teammates if possible. Paul Ems, who was doing really well in the truck race yesterday, which you can find out more on www.cascar.net. Find out more information on the Weeg Designs truck series. Paul Ems was able to run in 2nd position, was able to get a really good finish up there. And we're going to see how he's going to be doing here tonight as he continues to run in 8th position. Rob Carl now looking to the outside of Snellgrove. Just doesn't have the pace quite yet. Tires, like I said, they're all going to be real even right now. No distinct advantage running a high or a low side. Positions toggled there as they exit 4. Greg still got the position. Looking for a crossover there. Otter Rob just doesn't have it yet. This is going to be slowing them down, though, is going to allow Mundell to maybe get some time gained and catch up to them. Probably going to see a lot of blinking out of some of these guys here tonight in terms of their vehicles, and that is strictly because of the high winds currently being experienced across a lot of the U.S. right now, actually, mainly across the central and northeast, but that is going to be a pretty common occurrence, so keep an eye out for that. These guys are trying to do what they can against it, but you can only go so far. A little bit further back in the field, we see Matt Malavania, previous analysis up here with twitch.tv/Forkloak. Currently running in 10th position. Malavania, we don't see too much out of him, but it's good to see him whenever we can. See Belka going on the bottom, trying to get some more positions throughout the field. Hopefully Matt can join us up once again later this season. Kind of making a customary thing to happen with us. It's always fun. 3 wide there off of the exit of 4, very common. Thankfully this track is wide enough to support that. 3 wide again. Jennings is shooting up in the middle. Mr. Hybrid trying to make some gains right now. He looks like he's definitely got the pace. I think he's got the tires as I hear some crashing up ahead. Looks like everybody's got their wheels on straight. Maybe a skim of the wall there out of 34. Nope, not 34. 39. Let's see that rear end damage that they got. Kyle Mundell still in 4th position. Now move down into 5th as that has allowed Brian Fradienne to be in 4th. Richard Drake currently running in 3rd. Able to scoot on by and try to chase down your leaders, but it looks like Drake is going to have the pace to get around Rob Carl. This is giving an even larger chance, though, for Snellgrove to get away. Something I don't think these guys want to happen. They are not teammates with Greg, so him being able to run away right now is not helping anybody. Lap number 15, about halfway until we start seeing pit stops, I do imagine. Every lap led so far by Snellgrove. Drake and Carl duking it out, though, trying to get the 2nd place. Just they don't have it in them quite yet to distinctly get a position. They're very close, though. Looks like Drake definitely has it a bit more now. It looks like Rob definitely still has that pace, and that has allowed Fradienne and Mundell to both catch up. We see Fradienne on the bottom. That's one of the cool things about Nashville there is that you can run that apron if you do so choose across the start-finish line. It is a interesting choice to make, though. Not usually one most people recommend. Fradienne and Mundell still duking it out. That's Paul Ems there, moved up from 8th now into 6th. Maybe going to be able to snag himself a 5th. Kyle Mundell running wide up on the high side. That happened. Paul Ems now back up into the top 5. Hopping down a little bit further in our field, we're going to see some of the other guys here we got. Here is Tyler Hallahan, currently running in 11 with a BTT number 88. Next week, I think, is going to be a much more important race for him with the Jim Hallahan 100 at Martinsville. It's a track that means a lot to him. So it's going to be a good race next week. Tune in about the same time, and we'll get a fantastic short track race. Doing his best to catch up right now. He was running pretty quick. Ooh, big slide there at the 39, forcing his teammate down wide. Tyler had a pretty good run in practice, but wasn't up really up too high. He's having a bit of a tough time right now keeping up positions, but he is moving forward so far in the field. 15th up into 10th. Brandon Fiedler currently struggling on tires right now with this shorter plumbing Spider-Man number 39. Marc LaPierre behind along with Colucci, hoping they can catch back up to them when possible. Brian Fradienne has moved himself still into 4th position, trying to hold off Mundell from Ems from behind, my apologies, and currently trying to fight the position for Rob Carl. Just see that 81 Victos does not have the pace quite yet now as they run down the 4-degree banked backstretch. 9 degrees of banking goes across your front stretch, making this for a continuously banked racetrack. A little bit about Atlantic Carrier, our sponsor of this week's race. They're a refrigeration company servicing Nova Scotia and the southern Canadian regions. You can check them out at www.atlanticcarrier.com. I know the owners have tuned into our streams every now and then, so if you're here, welcome. We appreciate you out being here, and I know Greg does for certain. CASCAR is a great place to watch some great racing. Greg certainly has a dominant hold on this race, though. He has not given this up to anybody. Nobody has been able to match that pace yet. Which is a far cry from how it went yesterday in the League Designs Truck Series, where Greg Snellgrove was struggling very hard for pace and allowed Stephen Black to make his appearance there in the Truck Series and dominate the race. Said before, it was Paul Ems that was able to score a second out of that as he's running up in the top 5. Now open to battling for position there with Brian Fradienne. We'll go ahead and watch that. Mundell getting up into the mix as well. Looks like Fradienne has had some struggles there. Let's go and take a look at replay and see just what happened. All right, we can see this coming into turn number 3 now. Ems dives it down real hard, clips the apron, can't slow down enough, clips the 81, sends him into the wall. Rear first, that's going to get some big aero damage on him. He saves it pretty well. Fradienne, very good driver. You know, you can see that there as he saves it, but skims the wall and just loses pace, and that's going to give him some heavy damage, which is not going to be helping him at all coming up forward. Paul Ems, though, still only in 4th position, has not gained a lot from that. Crashes into the wall there off of 4. Interesting timing. Loses a lot of pace from that. The walls here at Nashville, I wouldn't say are sticky, but like to just absolutely drain your momentum more than any other track I have found. It's going to allow Mundell to move himself up into 4th position. And that's given Rob Carl a chance to get finally some clean air. Try to chase down Richard Drake to the best of his ability. Someone that's moving through the field right now has to be Ashton Reiki. Started from the rear of the field, has moved himself up into 14th position. Currently on the move, trying to do what he can to go forward. He's also somehow avoided all the driver information. Don't know how he's managed to do that. Huh. That information is obtained through the iRacing sim, so I'm not quite sure how Ashton managed to dodge that. There's this Wingnut Productions, number 26, though. Newcomer to the season. Making moves. Uh-oh, that looks like some cars are starting to go down pit road now. And that's going to be the Equipment Geek crew, headed up by Brian Fradienne. Cody Snyder chooses to stay out, getting himself a 13th position. Wes Gallo also goes in. Sylvan Sequin staying out. Now it's time to watch your leaders to see when they're going to start deciding to pit in. This is going to be an undercut strategy around lap 30. Like I said, a little bit early, but that's all right. Very common. just how much slower you can hear the cars are through the turns. They just don't have the high RPMs that they used to through the first few laps. I was told around lap number between 30 and 35 is when the next cliff is for the tires. Between 0 and 5 on your tire set is the first one, and then 30 and 35 is the next biggest, where your speeds just absolutely tumble. Not too much we can do about that, though. So we're going to be holding on to it, and we'll see who decides to pit in when. Got to give a huge thank you to Schroeder Plumbing for sponsoring the entire series here with the CASCAR Schroeder Plumbing Cup Series. You can find them over in southeast Wisconsin. Great crew out there, and they, do show plumbing, they do home plumbing, commercial, anything you need is all done by Schroeder Plumbing. So make sure you give them a check out once again over in southeast Wisconsin. And as soon as they get it to me, which is going to be soon, I'll make sure I give you some more specific contact information. If you're interested in sponsoring the stream or one of these races, make sure you go ahead and reach out to the CASCAR crew or to me. Find out more information on contacts both at www.4cloak.net and www.cascar.net. All right, that is going to hit lap number 30. That's my estimation for who goes in. And right now, nobody yet. Through 3 and 4 here, you can see the, like I said before, that pace difference is just absolutely phenomenal. And look at that, right on the dot. That's Greg Snellgrove going down pit road. Kyle Mundell goes to join him. Ems as well, Jeffrey Belk. This is good there, and Alhan and LaPierre. That's your crew going down pit road right now. Let's go ahead and watch our pit lane to see how they do. Get some pit information there. We have cut down on the decimal place. Thank you to Pierce Graphics for going and fixing that up for us, giving us our fantastic overlay sets for each week here at the CASCAR Schroeder Plumbing Cup Series. Good pit stop there out of Greg Snellgrove. 15 seconds seems a little bit long. Paul Ems to the 14.5. Jeffrey Belk with a 14. I know Belk likes to practice those pit stops, especially after the few he's butchered, with me definitely not taking some responsibility and the reason why and distracting him. Still, it's a good stop out of these guys and is going to allow them to make some big headway. Fresh tires. Everyone's going to have to go in soon. See the 39 of Brandon Fiedler heads in now. Rob Carl continues to stay out, now has a 4-second lead ahead of Michael Jennings behind in the 86, Mr. Hybrid. See how long he's going to be able to stay out. He's got Cody Snyder there, also who pitted in earlier, going to be going around him. Next person behind Jennings is going to be Ashton Reekie there in the number 26. Jennings continues to stay out. A bit of a slide there out of the 81. It looks like he definitely took that faster pair. Everyone gets one faster pair they get to choose. Brian took his early on because he got sent into the wall by Ems. So he's going to have to hold on to that. However, he's going to be doing all right. CASCAR usually known for going pretty caution-free. Every now and then you'll get one. So you have to continue to hold up, though. Jennings continues to run in first position, 5 seconds ahead of Ashton Reekie. Continues to stay out now. That's 35 laps that Jennings has put on these tires. This is the real point. We're going to see him getting even slower. That has pushed Freddie Ann up into fourth, though. You can see who has pit in and who has not. Michael Sparks being the last car that has not. Currently being about 12 seconds back from Jennings. Freddie Ann, currently your pseudo leader, who's going to be taking the lead as soon as the time comes. Right now, the biggest thing that he does not want is a caution. Actually, no, he could use caution. Never mind. Put him out to the lead. Jennings is in a pretty good spot for one, though. Going to be put a little bit more towards the rear. He'll be on a bit fresher tires. Greg Snellgrove behind Freddie Ann. Dives down to the bottom. Snellgrove, who did pit in before, definitely has the pace. No, did not put in before. He actually put in after 26 as lap EG went in on Great White North a little bit later, about 5 laps or so. But the balancing time, you can see just the pace difference, the few fresher tires make. Michael Jennings continues to lead here in the CASCAR Shorter Plumbing Cup Series. Holding up an entire crew here of cars as he goes through 3 and 4. Jeffrey Belk, Rob Carl, Paul Ems all trying to get around. Belk actually in a pretty good spot right now, able to make some moves in terms of positions after the pit stop cycle all through. The fact that Jennings has been able to stay out this long is very impressive. There is a reason he has the nickname Mr. Hybrid. Nobody gets it. His fuel-saving strategies, how they work. But, hey, they work. Especially on super speedways. Ashton Rieke still behind, maintaining roughly about 5 seconds we've seen. Sparks not too much further behind that there in that number 42. Greg Snowgrove, though, has been chasing down that time between him and the leader. Richard Drake right behind. Point of your race where everybody starts getting definitely a bit more stretched out due to fuel strategy and such. Pretty good field here tonight. 18 cars out on track. See, Sylvan has not gone into pit. That'd be Coluccio into the pits. Currently bringing up the rear of the field. So Greg still holds on to it. He's definitely got a lot of pace there in that wildcard's number 22 Chevrolet Camaro. Although, so does Richard Drake there. His kinetic number 41 Toyota Camry. Catching up there in turns 1 and 2. Cody Snyder, a bit further back there. Also doing his best to see if he can catch up. Jennings continuing to stay out. I don't know how this man does it. See him running down the backstretch. I mean, 40 laps here on one fuel run, also on the same tires. That the fact he's able to even get through the turns astounds me. I won't lie, I'm not really the best oval racer out there, which is ironic, figuring there's a broadcast-only oval, and I watch oval racing a lot more, but that's okay. So the fact he's been able to turn that car with incredibly worn tires is mighty impressive. He's going to have some nice things to say to the folks back at home. If he can make it all the way up to lap 60, he's got to keep a current lead right now of about 14 seconds ahead of Richard Drake, who's going to be your current lead car, who has taken tires. I mean, Ashton and Ruby still have not taken tires yet. Ashton has been able to close up that gap between himself and Jennings, down from 5 seconds to 4.5. See what else he can do there in that Wingnut Productions number 26. Time continues to drop. I think Jennings might be struggling right now. As I said before, while it is impressive he's able to turn that car, he has to turn it a lot slower than just about anybody else currently in the field, just of how worn the car's tires are. About time he comes into pit road now. Michael Jennings going to be surrendering the lead. Ashton Rieke still has not pit, is going to take the lead and leads a lap. There it is, Ashton Rieke, your new leader. He's got to keep ahead of Richard Drake right now, about 8 seconds back. Problem is, as Ashton pits in now, he's going to be losing that lap for sure. Nothing he can do about it. He's got no damage though, so his pit stop is going to be mighty fast. See him even backs out there. Doesn't even want to try to take the corner at a ridiculously dangerous speed. Richard Drake coming up now to assume the lead. Jennings goes out with a 12.3 pit stop. Now Richard Drake has the lead, currently getting chased down by Greg Snellgrove, about half a second back. Carl and Freddie N not too much further behind. Jennings has re-entered the track. They're currently a lot slower, still on colder tires. Has to move out of the way for the leaders. Furthest back right now from the top two has to be Rob Carl, trying to chase down that gap. He's got Fradian not too much further behind. About a second gap between a lot of these guys currently. It looks like another close one is right here with this group of cars. Able to take the position there on Mundell. Let's go and run a few laps and see what it looks like to be inside a race car here at the Atlantic Carrier 160 at Nashville. See that 14 degrees of banking as they run through turns 1 and 2. Freddie in alongside. On the backstretch. Sadly, the lights here at Nashville Superspeedway on iRacing do not work, which is unfortunate because it would be mighty cool to be able to finish in the dark. How much off-throttle time there is, have to be very smooth on that throttle application out. Smooth exit. Want to watch some more in-car, you can go ahead and tune over to Jeffrey's stream at it's JBelk55. I'll link that in my Twitch description so you can see that. He always runs a driver cam for the CASCAR Sugar Plumbing Cup Series. He has a new camera which allows you to see the inside of his cockpit and see where he's looking on his screens, which is actually really cool. Fourth place there for the number 55. Alright, looks like the sim just does not want to play nice today. So, anyway. Fredian currently getting the bumper put right to his rear there from Paul Ems. I think Brian sees this as a little bit too familiar. Right now, still definitely has the position over Ems, just is not going to give it up to him easily. 10 laps to go to the stage. Kyle Mundell with his Movember Chevrolet Camaro trying to chase him down the best of his ability there for Grand River Racing. If you don't know, Movember is a big event going on there each November, done by mostly men to prevent themselves from shaving and able to save that money that you would shave each November and able to donate it to fund cancer research as well as just men's mental health. Something I'm participating in, which is why I have a pretty messy face right now. So still, it's a good cause. It's definitely a nice thing to be sporting there on your stock car. A bit further back, we can check in on Marc LaPierre there in the King Drugs number 8, trying to chase down Wes Gallo right now. Looks like Wes definitely has some heavy damage there on his right side. Probably come from skimming the wall at some point. Mark with a fresh, clean car, though. He'll scoot along and get himself into 10th place. But for the back, currently running in the rear of the field here is the 18 of Patrick Coluccio. Wasn't able to run in the Truck Series race last night, the League Designs Truck Series, that is, due to some wheel issues. I know that he runs Logitech, just like a lot of other people, including myself. Every time there's an update, you got to recalibrate your systems. He was also having other PC troubles, so he's not able to race there, not get his practice in. That's a good part about the Truck Series, is that it's decent practice for your upcoming races. Further forward right now, we can look at Sylvan Seguin. They're currently running in 15th. Number 66, Napa Auto Parts, Chevrolet. Back up to your leader, Richard Drake, who's been able to dominate currently the top of the leaderboard ever since the pit stops happened. Currently maintaining a roughly 3-second lead ever since. That is mighty impressive. Looks like the gap between Greg Snellgrove and Rob Carl has shrunk down significantly. Rob was way further back from Snellgrove and Drake many laps ago. Probably about 30 now. And honestly, I think it's worked out real well in his favor. He's been able to close that up fast. Looks like Greg has just been tearing up his stuff a bit too much. Rob has the pace. I think he's even going to be able to get the position here. Number 2, Great Lakes Esports, Chevrolet. You can see Greg is going to absolutely guard that bottom with his life. He knows he wants the second place finish across for the stage. Decent stage points for Greg if he's able to keep it that second. I know he wants it. The question is, will he be able to keep it? As we know that Rob is pretty aggressive and is very fast, clearly. So he's going to keep that bumper right to him. He looks to the outside. He's going to be able to make an outside pass here at Nashville. Currently at his quarter, just doesn't have the pace in it quite yet. His tire is still a bit too worn up towards the wall. Stays off it. So across the start-finish line. 2 to go till the stage. Completion of lap number 60. That'll be it. Richard Drake still your leader there in the kinetic number 41. I think he's almost got this thing absolutely locked down. As he heads up to Malavania, he's going to cross the line, and that's going to be it. White flag to the stage. Completion of this lap will bring out the yellow, and your field will be rebunched back up. You'll see a lot of guys going in for pit stops. It's going to be a whole rebalancing. See who's going to be able to succeed off of the stage. Nashville Super Speedway was last run here for the NASCAR Cup Series this season with the Ally 400. First time back. First time here on iRacing, and for the first time in the CASCAR Shorter Plumbing Cup Series, the stage win is going to go to Richard Drake. And you can hear Chad Ganowski slash Earl, I don't remember his last name there, from the Jimmy Johnson Spotty pack, going to be giving us the yellow. With that, though, your stage win has gone to Richard Drake. Congratulations to him. He did a great job. Greg Snellgrove still is able to hold on to second for that. Rob Carl gets third. Belk in fourth. Fradian fifth. M6. Mundell in seventh. Fiedler in eighth. Hallahan in ninth. And LaPierre in 10th. Before we go any forward, Before we get any further forward, I want to give a big thank you to this week's sponsor. That is Atlantic Carrier for sponsoring this week the Atlantic Carrier 160 at Nashville Super Speedway. Atlantic Carrier is a refrigeration company out in Nova Scotia and services Nova Scotia and the southern Canadian regions. You can find out more about their services and the things they offer over at www.atlanticcarrier.com. Drivers now come through turn number 4. See everybody just coming in for a pit stop. See if we have been blessed with Richard Drake's presence today in the CASCAR Discord, and he has not. All right, hopefully we can potentially interview him a bit further down the line. But with that, let's go ahead and bring up your second place finisher here in the stage, Greg Snellgrove, as soon as he turns in for his pit stop. Very nice lesson I've learned, courtesy of Equipment Geek. Ooh, stopped just 2 bit further back. Unfortunate. Let's go and bring out our pit board information there. Let's bring him up. Greg, it's open the booth. They read me.
Hey, Noah, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. You got yourself second in the stage here. How does that feel?
It does feel great, but now not so much because I forgot to take my fast repair. I got 20 seconds of damage.
Ah, okay. It didn't help that you were stopped just before the line either.
No, no, it didn't help. I'm doing good today.
I mean, you've had a lot of pace in that Chevrolet here tonight, able to hold off Rob Carl and, everybody else for the first laps up until the stage. How were you able to do it?
Just saving the tires, man. I figured out how you have to run the track to keep the right front cool enough. So it ended up working there the first stint. Then the second one, when I hit the wall, Richard was able to get by it and kind of ruined it on me. But I should be back up there before this is over.
Makes a lot of sense to me. What's going to be your strategy going forward now that you're going to be a lot further down?
Just keep doing what I'm doing, saving the tires, and be patient. Hoping that I can stay out of any wreck that could happen here.
That makes a lot of sense to me. Is there anyone I want to thank before I let you go?
Thanks to everybody at Atlantic Carrier. Sorry I screwed the paint scheme up tonight. I was not thinking when I was selecting it. Yeah.
That makes sense. It's all good. Thank you very much for your time, Greg. I do appreciate it and hope to see you soon.
Thanks, buddy. Have a good one.
That is going to be the number 2 of Greg Snellgrove, otherwise known as Grug. It's a nice joke. If you go ahead and join the CASCAR Discord server, you can find out more about that because it's pretty funny. Let's see. If you have anyone you want interviewed in the chat, go ahead and mention it, and most of the time I'll be able to bring them up. Still, though, we're going to be on lap number 64. Richard Drake is going to be leading the field to the green with Rob Carl going to be starting alongside. With it, though, let's actually bring up Rob and see how he's doing here tonight. Rob is over the booth. They read me.
Hey, Noah, how's it going?
It's going pretty good, but right now you're going to be starting second here off of this next green. How does that feel?
I really think this was Greg's spot. I don't know what happened to him there on the pits, but I gained a spot there on him.
Yeah, he stopped just before the pit board, so he was a bit too far back, and then he also had to pit for damage. So.
Cool, yeah, that worked out to my advantage. Him and I were battling out pretty good for the last couple laps there for that second place stage point. Richard's got a fast race car tonight, so the goal is to try and stay on pace with him and not burn up the right front.
Makes a lot of sense to me. You've been very fast so far. You've been able to stick up into the top 5 the entire time. How are you going to get around Richard Drake if you can?
That is a good question. Try and stay in his draft and get a good run on him coming off of an exit and hopefully feed him some dirty air. So we'll see what happens.
That we absolutely will. Is there anyone you want to thank before I let you go?
I'd like to thank you, Noah, over there at Four Cloak Media. Do a great job with the broadcasts, and appreciate you putting your time here towards it. I'd like to thank Greg and all the admins at CASCAR for all the hard work they do as well.
All right, well, thank you very much for your time, Rob. I do appreciate it. Good luck.
Thank you.
Number 2 of Rob Carl. Great Lakes Esports Chevrolet. Starting alongside your current leader of the stage, Richard Drake. iRacing.com Pace Truck pulls off as we head now, leaving turn number 4. Wait for it. They shoot off any second. Screen, there it is. Green flag, away we go here in the CASCAR Schroeder Plumbing Cup Series. Richard Drake off to a fantastic start. He's got that once again. He knew when that green was coming out, and he's on it. Is there 3 wide, leaving turn number 1. Very close there between Paul Ems and Kyle Mundell. Still 3 on the exit of 2. They've resumed back to 2 wide racing now. As we see, Richard Drake still has the lead. Rob Carl doing anything he can. As he said, he's going to try to stick in that draft as much as possible to get as big an advantage as he can, but he's actually got to get there first. Almost 3 again off of the exit of 4. Cold tires means very easy slippage coming out of the turns. Make sure they hold on to that throttle application. Very important, especially at a track here like Nashville. Tire temperature matters a bit more here than it would at most other ovals here on the, not just CASCAR, but also the NASCAR Cup Series schedule. And that comes from the track composition. Concrete, its friction rating compared to rubber. And asphalt is 0.86 compared to the 0.9 friction ratio. If you're a physics student, you'll know what I'm talking about. On a concrete surface, 0.9 that is, compared to 0.86 of asphalt. And what that means, though, is that the tire temperatures have to be a little bit higher. They got to be in a little bit more precise operating range. As soon as they are, you got more grip than you would at any other kind of racetrack. So that's why the banking here can be just that little bit lower than it is at other tracks, and why the speeds here are even faster than you'd expect otherwise. Jeffrey Bell currently rounding out your podium position in third, as Brian Fradienne is getting heavy pressure from behind from not only Paul Ems, who I'm sure is still trying to be very careful about that rear-end collision because he does not want that to happen again. As well as Brandon Fiedler and Kyle Mundell behind, all of which who have been very competitive for these top positions here in the CASCAR Shirley Plumbing Cup Series. But that has allowed Greg Snellgrove to be also right there, currently running in 8th position, right behind Wes Gallo, able to take that fast repair, it looks like, and is sticking it right to the rear bumper of the 22. Halhan holding back just a little bit, currently running in 10th, and that's going to be your end of the big pack up here. Not too much further back, though, you can hear the other cars go by. That's going to be LaPierre, Malavagna, Coluccio, everybody else back there. Back up towards your leaders, though, we can see that Rob has been able to keep a pretty consistent gap between himself and Richard Drake as they leave turn number 2. That 41 just has tons of pace behind it. He's got a very well-tuned car here tonight. CASCAR Cup Series is currently a fixed setup lead. Join in. As is the Weeg Designs Truck Series, also run by CASCAR. Join in that. You can find out more information on www.cascar.net. Thing is, with that though, it just makes that a little bit more difficult for some of these guys to get a very dominant kind of position. See Jeffrey Belk right now, able to stick it in 3rd still. He's able to keep a pretty consistent gap between himself and his teammate of Fradienne. Brandon Pedro, see if he can keep a little bit more steady. We've been seeing Brandon struggle right now when it comes to sliding off the exit of some of these turns. Also in the middle of some of these turns as well. He's got that race car dialed in just that a little bit better now. He's able to keep a more consistent line. Kyle Mundell also looking to see if he can take advantage from any kind of mistake he can get, though. Remember, that's one of the big things of stock car racing is if you can fill up that rear view mirror of the person in front of you, it just might work out enough in your favor to make them nervous and you get the position. We see Mundell moving down to the bottom there, number 34. Does not have the pace to get the position quite yet, though. Exit of turn number 4 as they head down your 9-degree bank front stretch. Richard Drake continues to lead here at the Atlantic Carrier 160. Field isn't changing too much in terms of position. These guys have this track dialed in just that bit better. Gotta see what they can do. The great thing that you can see a lot of these guys here are the fantastic paint schemes that everybody runs. A lot of them done by Skylord Graphics, Stephen Black, and Weeg Designs. It's Wes Gallo there. Then the handful are just done by yourselves too, which is always great to see. Gotta get that driver encouragement in there, and you know, paint schemes. They sell the sponsor space. They get all that stuff out there. So if you're seeing some of these guys, you know, running some pretty blank cars, get in contact with them. I'm sure that they definitely appreciate some sponsors, even if they're, you know, smaller ones. To the front again, you can see it. 55 there. Jeffrey Bell able to keep himself in pretty close contention. He's been able to close up that gap between himself and Rob Carl in front of him. Good speed he's got there. Fradienne a bit closer to Mundell than I think he'd like. He's actually falling off the pace now. Does that say anything? Running out your top 5 there, Brandon Fiedler. As I said, it's getting pretty spaced out. You can see that real, you know, clear from some of these angles. It's just there isn't too much to talk about when nobody's, you know, making too many attempts at passes and stuff. And sometimes I ask when I talk. See the 39 there on the bottom of the 81. He's on the inside, hoping to see if he can clear him. Their teammates, so it's going to mean they're working together a bit better. However, they are still going to race each other for points and for positions. I mean, this is going to be a driver's battle through and through. Looking at your team standings as well as your drivers, Jeffrey Bell currently running in second. Hoping he can chase down Rob Carlo, who is continuing to lead. Drivers' point standings. To find out your driver's point standings, make sure you go ahead and check out the CASCAR Discord server, which you can find the invite to join in over on CASCAR.net. Cody Snyder, who we haven't seen in a bit, is currently running in 13th position with his number 4 HKS Toyota Camry. It's not every day we get to see Cody out here on track, so whenever we can, it's always great to see him. Welcome back, Cody. As the same with Matt Mulvaney, as you see Sylvan skim the wall there. We don't get to see Matt every time either, so him bringing out that number 3 Good Rent Chevrolet is always great to see. I know that that scheme means a lot to Matt. We've been able to discuss that over at Daytona, the CASCAR 250, the replay you can find over on the Fork Look Media YouTube channel, link available in the description. It's good to see him back. Fredian has been able to take the position back from his teammate Brandon Fiedler to get into 4th position. That's an Equipment Geek 345. As we see, Kyle Mundell is shooting it on the outside there of Greg Snellgrove and Wes Gallo on the bottom. Wes has been able to close up massively, as has Greg. They've made up tons of time, and now Greg Snellgrove is back up into 6th position, trying to get himself back out to the lead. About 8 laps time this time across the line. We're going to start seeing these guys go into the pits once again. It's making 30 laps on the tires, roughly. Let's see who pits in early, who pits in late. Vescalo back up into the top 10, though. You can see him with his 07 Week Designs. To the Camry, trying to do his best to Greg Snellgrove there. He's been able to keep pace with him pretty well. Able to move up in the field. So Kyle Mundell is struggling for tires right now as he's going to get under fire there from the 88 of Tyler Hallahan in the BTT Chevrolet Camaro. Mark here not further behind either, same with Coluccio. Teammate of Mundell, however, sometimes your teammates don't, I mean, the magical solution is right there. And that's going to be very true here as they come through. So, Lucha's a bit further back. The person to watch you should be right now here has to be Michael Jennings, who was able to keep himself up into the lead for many laps when the stage came, just because he was able to stay out for so long. Getting himself some important laps led. We're going to see if he's going to be able to do it again here as soon as these guys start pitting. Maybe he'll try to pit in a bit earlier this time, stick up with more of the field. Though it looks like that damage is definitely slowing him down. Brandon Fiedler in 5th position leads up this second group of guys. Looks like he can't block the outside quite fast enough. Greg Snellgrove to the outside. Down the backstretch here at Nashville Super Speedway, you can see that 22 hoping to shoot it around if he can at the shorter plumbing number 39. It's been a great time to mention up both the sponsors if they were here. Greg. Got some rear end damage there on the 39 though. Greg Snellgrove able to get around and move himself back up into the top 5. We saw him finish second in the stage. Let's see what he's going to be able to do now that he has the top 5 position. He's going to try to stick it down to Brian Fradian. He just got to make sure he has the pace to do so. Jeffrey Belk has been able to continue running in third position, has expanded that gap with his teammate behind up to now a pretty sizable gap of roughly 2 seconds. More like a second, actually. So that is mighty impressive that he's going to be able to do that. Let's hope he can continue on that pace as he tries to get up to Rob Carl ahead, who has lost time to Richard Drake in front. However, is still remaining very competitive in this race and has been able to hold on to that those English, been able to hold on to those tires very well. Talking about your leader, though, he has led every single lap since the stage. Richard Drake to the lead. He still got it. See, this is the thing we saw with Greg Snellgrove, though, is that as soon as he pit in, he lost that lead and was not able to get it back the entire time. He tried sticking it down the entire time, but he only got second place in the end. Let's see what Richard Drake's plan is, to see how long he can stick out and get himself the race win if possible. He's got a fairly sizable gap between himself and the rest of the field, but that does not mean it's everything. He does end up getting a podium on this thing to get to interview him. I gotta ask him how he does it with the tires. I mean, it is just impressive the work he's able to do. Fredian has still been able to keep ahead of Greg Snellgrove, though. He's got a lot of pace there in that Victos number 81. But Greg Snellgrove is trying to come in as fast as he can. And these are a lot of guys going on pit road, including 48 of Richard Drake. Puts the lap lead there to the number 55 of Jeffrey Belk, who's now going to be leading this race. See how well he's going to be able to go in on this pit stop that is going to be coming up shortly. Just a hair different fuel strategy. This is going to be some good points, though, for Equipment Geek able to lead some more laps. Way down, you can see the slowness start to show up. Doesn't choose to go in, though, because you can see the right-hand side of your screen of your pit stop information. Very close time in terms of pit stop from a lot of these guys. You know, it's impressive what they're able to do. It looks like Rob Carl gets just a hair faster of a pit stop over Richard Drake. Still not enough to get him in position quite yet, though. However, they're going to be on equal tires heading on out. Smalvania rubbed to the bits. Fredian went in this last time. It's now just Belk, Fiedler, and Gallo out for Equipment Geek, and I imagine that's him now. You see Belk goes in, Brandon goes in, Wes Gallo chooses to stay out and gets himself a lap lead there with the Designs 07. Putting Marc LaPierre out into second position there with the number 8 Canadian Drugs Machine. Lucio not too much further behind, in terms of pace, I should say, not points. Or laps, really. That's what I'm trying to say. It's the 18 Dirt Code Media. Do what you can to get around it. Scalo still has the lead, chooses not to go in once again. Brandon Fiedler down pit road. Jeffrey Belk now just was not able to get out of the pits fast enough. That's going to put Richard Drake out to the front in terms of your cars with most recent pit stop. Rob Carl right behind him, though, able to maintain a pretty close gap. Very close between him and Marc LaPierre, though, in terms of collision. That could have gone badly very fast as they're wrecking down through the center. That is Ashton Rigi. Spun it through the infield grass as he comes across. Does he re-enter the racetrack? He does! Oh, Jeffrey Belk collides him as there's the caution! Huge collision there for Jeffrey Belk. Same with Brian Fradian. That's going to be Brian's race absolutely just over. That's some heavy engine damage on that 81 Victo. Oh, yep, it's a modified. And he does not have a fast repair, so that has just absolutely ended his race. See iRacing.com pace truck starting to pull out now. Absolutely unfortunate there for Brian. You got to feel bad for that. That's going to put Wes Gallo, though, in the lead as Jeffrey Belk is going to be coming around to go down pit road. We'll go ahead and rewind and see just what happened here at Nashville Superspeedway Atlantic Carrier 160. All right, we come out now of turn number 4, following along with the number 26 of Ashton Riki. He's got it under control still, leaving turn 4 there. Malavanya goes into the pits, hits the wall, and just drives up into the wall, heads down through the grass. Problem is he just starts to spin out and can't recover it at all, and the grass is too slippery, and he starts sliding up. Cody Snyder barely avoids. Jeffrey Belk just has nowhere to go. Same with Brian Fradian. Absolutely just clobbers him straight into it. We can rewind that and see just how fast that collision was. Even for Jeffrey Belk, that is a massive in terms of speed. Honestly, if Jeff didn't hit him, Brian might have been able to dodge that, but nothing that could have been done. That slowdown just absolutely demolished both cars there, as it did Ashton. So, Fast Perry there, gone for the 81 already, and that's going to be putting him out of this race here tonight with the Atlantic Carrier 160. Gotta hate it, but sometimes there's just nothing you can do about it, which is mighty unfortunate for some of these guys. We know they're fast, and we know that they can do a lot of great work, but they're down. Nothing you can do about it. With that, though, it's going to bring up your current race leader, the 07 of Wes Gallo. Let's see what he's doing. Of course, he's in that weird spot in the Discord. It's hard to grab him. There we go. Wes has opened the booth. They read me.
I do. How are you?
I'm doing all right. You're currently leading this race right now. How does that feel?
Terrifying.
How so?
I don't think I have enough gas to make it to the end. I know I don't really have the pace to do anything here, so I'm kind of making it up as I go. Yeah, that's all I really got.
Got a lot of fast cars behind you. Are you really starting to feel that pressure?
Yeah, that's why I'm still out here to begin with. I knew I didn't stand a chance against Robs and whatnots of the world, so I was kind of just going to stretch as long as I can, really, and then kind of hope fresh tires would help me out once I did eventually pit, and now we're in a weird spot. So, yeah, we really.
Well, what's going to be your strategy rolling forward now that you're in this weird spot?
I am saving as much gas as humanly possible. Hopefully I can stretch it to the end here, but I believe Mark just pitted. He's the only other car on the lead lap with me, so I guess we're just going to try to stay alive here and see what happens, I guess.
You and Mark have been battling a lot this race. How's that been going?
I don't know. Man, I really don't even have a ton to say about this race today. I'm not great at short tracks. This place definitely runs like a short track, and being able to run around to anybody without killing them seems like a success here.
That's fair enough. I know a lot of these guys are very tense about this racetrack in terms of its surface, its banking, and just the way you have to drive it. So being able to hold on to it and run pretty caution-free for the most part, aside from this, has been a really good event.
I'm actually surprised. I think that was our first unplanned green or yellow of the race, so good running for this kind of track.
Absolutely. Now, before I let you go, who do you have to thank for such a great race car here tonight?
I have you to thank for bringing me up and giving me the spotlight for my wonderful sponsor, Week Designs. I can go through the rest of them, but I don't have enough time, so Four Cloak Media, Week Designs.
All right, thank you much for your time, Wes. I do appreciate it, and good luck.
Yes, sir, I love you.
Wes Gallo, everybody. One of the characters here in the CASCAR Shorter Plumbing Cup Series. Same with the Week Designs Truck Series, so he's a great one. Well, the lights are off on the iRacing.com pace truck as we run through turn number 3 now at Nashville Super Speedway. Atlantic Carrier 160. Thank you to Shorter Plumbing for putting on such a great season for us to have here on twitch.tv/ForkLoad to watch. Thank you to Atlantic Carrier for sponsoring this week's race. With that, the pace truck is off as we have to wait for the long green flag drop. Head through the D part of the oval. Wish there was a better zone to know where it starts, and there it is, green flag. Bit of a slow start out of Wes and Mark there. It's not just on tires even, I just mean that is a slow start. So they can put this thing together there as we see the two dives down right on the bottom. Look at the tires go. Goodbye, everybody. I see what Wes was talking about when he's got a lot of fast cars around him. still the only guy in the lead lap right now, so he has to try his best to make it stick all the way to the end. Greg Snellgrove is now going to be your lead car. The tires, oh, almost a spin there. It looks like Jennings was able to recover it just barely off the exit there. I swear, with more tire smoke, I just got more and more concerned that we ran into something. Jeffrey Belk there takes the fastest pair, got his teammate alongside. Jeff able to recover after that unfortunate incident. Brandon Beeler doesn't get that damage on the rear quarter fixed. Marc Lapierre still running in second position. Now first, Marc Lapierre takes the lead away from Wes Gallo as they both get very close to the wall there. Wes skimming it. Marc Lapierre leads a lap here at the Atlantic Carrier 160 at Nashville Super Speedway. He's got Cody Snyder behind. Richard Drake now out to the front, able to get himself around Rob Karl to the lead. Does he have the pace to essentially lap Marc Lapierre? Wait, hold on. Richard Drake in second. Uh-oh. That meant his strategy worked out absolutely perfectly, probably unintentionally, in terms of tires and everything else. And now Richard is going to be a fast car in second position. He has to chase down Marc Lapierre. That is an interesting one. I know what you mean, Brian. I know what you mean entirely. It's good to see you out in the chat, though, and I'm sorry that your race had to come to an end like that. That is just, that's a rough one. See, Marc Lapierre continues to hold on to it as of now, but Richard Drake has been absolutely closing that gap up as much as possible. As Cody Snyder kind of has to make the choice now. Does he block Richard here, or does he light him straight on through? That's the choice he has to make there in that number 4. Moves to the outside. He's letting Drake go. Lapierre holds on to it for now. He's got to make another 16 times around in front as that gap continues to shrink lap after lap. Bad corner exit off of 4, though, for Drake is not going to help him any. Looks like Drake just does not have the pace quite yet compared to Mark when it comes to tires, I think. Might be struggling a lot. Marc Lapierre continues to pull away, even from Wes Gallo, though, who definitely is on older tires. Marc Lapierre pulling away from the competition now, up to a half a second. Let's see how they handle the exit of this turn. Drake able to close up just a bit more, but it's definitely going a bit different than I thought it would, as Marc Lapierre has the lead. Drake closing that now up a lot. Rob Karl, the lead car on the -1 lap. Greg Snellgrove behind, same with Jeffrey Belk. That's going to make this thing real interesting if your top 3 can't make it to the end on fuel. As the yellow comes out here in the CASCAR Shorter Plumbing Cup Series. Let's see just what happened there to bring that out, and we'll be right back. I apologize for the wait here, folks. This has been a weird one. I've been able to find just what happened until now, but this is under yellow. We'll see what happened under yellow here. Head back in. See the 42 coming up on the pace truck starts to slow down. Doesn't have it. Dives out of the way for Cody Snyder. spins it, locks up the rear tires, and absolutely just takes him out. So that was under yellow, but I wasn't seeing anything that happened before then. So yeah, that's a weird one. Yeah, I can't really tell you what happened there. Let's go and bring up Mark LaPierre, though, who currently has the lead here at the CASCAR Shorter Plumbing Cup Series. Marcus, open the booth. Do you read me? You are right now in the lead here in the CASCAR Shorter Plumbing Cup Series with the Atlantic Carrier 160. What is going on through your head right now? Yeah. In terms of tires, where are you guys at? Wow. All right. Look at... Oh, goodness. There we go. So, right now, on fresh tires, you're leading here. You got Richard Drake behind, got to hold him back. I mean, this is quite the situation to be in.
Yeah, it'd be nice if I get my first win here, but you know, it all depends on holding him behind me.
Do you know what kind of tires he's on?
I have no idea actually, so.
So this really is a shot in the dark right now.
Yeah.
So
I'll just have to do a Ryan Newman and just keep him behind me.
You've only got a few laps to go, so this is going to be a very tense start for you. What's going to be the rest of your plan if you're going to be able to keep him behind you? Do you have enough fuel to make it to the end?
Oh yeah, I've got plenty of fuel. I'm ready to go. I just need to just keep him behind me, and that's it.
What a interesting position to be in because of that last yellow and just everything that's happened so far. Are you excited?
Yeah, a little nervous. That's about it.
All right, well, before I let you go, who do you have to thank for such a great race car here tonight?
I'd like to thank my teammates.
All right, well, thank you much for your time, Mark. I do appreciate it, and good luck.
Thank you.
Number 8 of Mark LaPierre in the Kenny Drugs Chevrolet Camaro. Thank you, Brian, for letting me know. Caution out between him, Jennings, something to do with him, but weird because I had him up and I didn't see anything. But leaves pit road now. Must have taken a fast repair or something. Yeah, we'll have to see what happened a bit later. Wasn't a lot until Sparks slopped up the tires on the pace lap and took out Snyder, so. Let me know if there's any other sound issues, you guys out in the chat, or anything else I can do. Makes the stream all better and puts everything all together. But Mark LaPierre is going to be leading the field to the green flag drop here at the CASCAR Shorter Plumbing Cup Series, Atlantic Carrier 160. Drake alongside him, same with Rob Carl. It's going to be a big event watching the events transpire. If I'm understanding this correctly, it's just Mark and Drake on the lead lap. Rob and Greg behind on the next lap down. Kind of a battle for third position between those guys. Your leaders are going to take it away. So round turn number 4 here at the Atlantic Carrier 160. iRacing.com pace truck pulls off as we head down towards the green flag. And there it is, green flag drops, and we are off to go here with the Atlantic Carrier 160. Mark LaPierre off to kind of a bit of a troubled start. Doesn't have the grip I think he wanted there on the bottom. Richard Drake looking to the outside, hoping to make it through. Rob Carl about to shoot it 3 wide, almost does. Greg Snowgrove blocks that bottom to make sure that Belk can't get through. Rob blocking for third position. Not going to let Snowgrove by as we see Belk there on the bottom, trying to make something happen as Richard Drake is trying to pull a crossover on LaPierre. Doesn't pull it off quite yet, though. Off the exit. All right, we cross the line, and it's 8 to go. Another lap led to LaPierre. Drake is right there. See, it looks like Richard's able to outbrake Mark there as Mark runs a bit wide. Tires are not holding up in Mark's favor. He's got to get around that 41 if he wants to get this race win, as Richard Drake is in a pretty dominant spot as Rob Carl goes now onto the bottom of the 8 to move around. Still isn't quite there yet as we see Marcus getting slowed up by Dirty Air. Not able to catch up. Mr. 4 wide! Collision there with LaPierre is going to be slowing him down massively. That's chances of his win done. 48 out to the lead, able to save it though. Yellow does not come out. Escalo now up into third position. Jeffrey Belk up into second place. Greg Snellgrove involved in that incident between him, Mark, and Rob, it looks like. Greg's got a lot of ground to make up as Belk is going to try to maintain a nice second place position as Drake continues to try to run away with this thing. Wes Gallo now coming up to look to the inside of the 55. He gets it. That's the 07 to the inside. Almost see how they do down the backstretch. Looks like that outside run was just enough for the position to be maintained for Jeffrey Belk as of now, but just he backs out, gives the position up to his teammate. It means Richard Drake is continuing to lead this race across the line. 5 to go. It's going to be a battle to the end for sure as your top 3 starting to pull away from the rest of the pack. Rob Carl doing his best to keep up with him right now. He's got Greg Snellgrove there right behind with him. And the rest of the pack not too much further behind. LaPierre drops down to 10th. It looks like they're definitely all back on the lead lap then. I thought they were not, but what do I know? See Gallo there trying to chase down Richard Drake. I think he's got fresher tires than Belk. Definitely appears to look like it as he's trying to get up to him. He's been able to close up that gap. He's got to get there, though, first. They're in that 07 Week Designs Toyota Camry. Richard Drake still has the lead there with that number 41. See Jeffrey Belk way further back now. That's the difference fresh tires makes. Wes able to close up that gap even more. Is Wes Gallo going to try to challenge for the lead here at... Oh, goodness. All right, thank you very much for the tire update there, Brian. That is going to be Richard Drake on far older tires than Wes Gallo. Let's see what happens now as they are going to be rounding turn number 4. Richard Drake moves to the outside. Wes Gallo goes on bottom. Doesn't get it. Not yet. Do the start finish line they go. Now into turn number 1. Richard Drake guarding that apex. Dives down on the bottom. It's 2 to go. 07 still right there behind him. Doesn't have the pace in him quite yet to make the pass. It's going to be a white flag pass, it looks like, if any. As now Richard Drake still has the lead. Wes Gallo way more speed on the bottom, almost to the rear quarter. Off before they go, almost a spin there out of the 07. He's got to hold on to it. Now it's the white flag here at the Schroeder Plumbing Cup Series Atlantic Carrier 160. '07 still right there, sticking it with Richard Drake. This is it, the white flag. Down to the bottom he goes. That's Wes Gallo on the bottom. Let's see how they handle it now, going through turns 3 and 4. Richard Drake just does not have the pace. He slows up, can't get there. Looking to the bottom for maybe a crossover. Looks to the high side. Wes Gallo won't let him through. Dives down to the bottom, trying to make a last second pass. It goes to Wes Gallo, who wins at the Atlantic Carrier 160. First win for Fisher Sport Racing in the Cup Series. Wes Gallo able to win in the Truck Series at Michigan. Brings himself to a win in the Cup Series. His teammate, Jeffrey Belk, who finishes third, comes up alongside to give him a nice rub. It's the other teammates there. 39 coming up as well. Your top 5 all together. What a run for not only Equipment Geek, but this entire Nashville Super Speedway race. As Wes Gallo comes up to the line to do some celebratory burnouts that he's definitely well earned. Alhan moves along. There it is. There's your burnout here for your winner. Atlantic Carrier 160. Atlantic Carrier is a refrigeration company that services Nova Scotia, the southern Canadian regions. Make sure you find out more information on them and see what they can provide for you over at www.atlanticcarrier.com. As the Wii Designs 07 comes up to do let's find a little bit. Just enough fuel to make it to the end, it appears. What a great spot to be in. A first win in the Cup Series for Wes Gallo. His highest finish was second at Michigan last season. He's finally got it. With that, though, let's go ahead and bring up your third place finisher, though, of Jeffrey Belk, able to secure himself a podium finish. Let's see if it wants to behave with me here tonight. Let's get it. Jefferson, open the booth. Do you read me?
Yeah, good to know. How you doing?
Doing pretty good. I got to adjust your audio once again due to microphone difference. Let's get you that. There we go. A podium finish you finally got here in the CASCAR Schroeder Plumbing Cup Series. How does it feel?
It feels great. I don't remember what it's like to be up here.
It has been a little bit, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Still a great run you had here tonight, able to, get a few lucky breaks, a few unlucky breaks, and your teammate was able to secure the race win.
Yeah, major shout out to Wes. He was just in the perfect position, had fresh tires for that whole last little stint, able to run them down and made it right there at the end.
I mean, I've got to ask, what were your, feelings when you saw Greg and Rob get, all super close to Mark and essentially put you out into third position?
Very nervous when I was up there with them, but then very ecstatic after I got by the entire shebang.
It seems like you had fresh tires over some of those guys as well. Did your strategy work out the way you wanted it to?
I mean, put it this way, we started 17th, so we went up 15 or 14 positions. I'll take that on any day.
That is a very fair assessment. Able to go from the rear all the way up to a podium position. I mean, what a move.
Thank you very much.
What are your hopes for next week over at Martinsville?
More of the same. Hopefully it's not as bad as the other Nashville from last season, but
Martinsville.
Racing. Yeah, but I'm saying it shouldn't be as bad as last season at the other Nashville.
We don't talk about Nashville. Yeah, I certainly hope it's not, and I don't think it will be.
No, we've raced at Martinsville before, and we've had good races there.
Absolutely. So, a podium position to you in the For Cloak Media number 55. Who do you have to thank for such a great race car?
Well, first and foremost, you just said For Cloak Media. After that, Equipment Geek Racing, Sports Star, Helmet Stalker. It's been so long since we've done this, I don't remember what I'm trying to say. Atlantic Carrier for sponsoring the race. As always, you for broadcasting, and everyone out there for tuning in, really.
All right, well, congratulations on the podium finish, and make sure you check out everyone at home, the For Cloak Media shop, where you can get yourself some Jeffrey Belk merch.
Yes, I'm waiting for mine to come in.
Hey, mine too. It's only a few more days, right?
That is true.
All right, well, thank you very much for your time, Jeff. I do appreciate it, and once again, congratulations.
Thank you for talking to you soon.
Jeffrey Belk finishes third position here at Nashville Super Speedway. What a great run. Let's see, we do got Richard Drake. Let's go ahead and bring him up and see what his thoughts are here on tonight's race. Richard, Snow the booth. Do you read me?
Hello, Noah. How are you doing?
It's been a while since we've last talked to you, but you got yourself a podium position of second place. What a run.
Yeah, that was that was a pretty perfect race. I'm thinking for the spectators, because we definitely had a heck of a race at the end. I didn't know till the final corner how that was going to toss out.
Oh, it was. I mean, I was on the edge of my seat. I can only imagine what it was like for both you and Wes there, going right to the end.
Well, you got just enough time on the straightaways, these kind of big tracks. I mean, I guess this is a bit short for these guys that are used to a lot of the super speedways, though this is called it. I think it's only a mile and a third, but I'm used to a lot of really short track racing. So down the final backstretch was really just a lot of strategy planning, and I decided I'd try to go for a crossover move on him, and almost worked. He did a really fantastic job of just making his line wide enough and blocking the two sides. He drove perfectly, so kudos to him on the win there.
Absolutely. I mean, what was your thoughts throughout most of the rest of the race, though? Were you able to lead a majority of the laps?
Yeah, it was a real. All these tracks are really all about tire saving, and I was really thankful to have the lead for a lot of it because when you get the clean air, it's just easier on the car, and it's a lot easier to preserve that right front tire. Whereas when you're in the pack, the draft is nice on the straightaways, you get the speed coming forward, but it really affects the handling of the cars in the corner, and I find it so much easier to burn up that right front. So, I was talking with my spotter, and we were trying to figure out what to do with. That final, the second half of the race there and when to pit. And given how green the rest of the race had gone, we decided it might as well try to split it halfway and hope it goes green the whole way. And Wes had a pretty cool strategy. Caution came out at the right time for him, and I knew he had those fresher tires. So at that point, it was a cat and mouse, and we were the mouse just trying to run away.
I mean, still, great job done by you, able to secure yourself a second position and put on a great show for everybody. And I hope we get to see you next week over at Martinsville.
Yeah, hoping to make it out. Martinsville's one of my favorite tracks. It's always chaotic, and you never know how it's going to work out in the end. But I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Now, who do you have to thank for such a great race car here tonight?
Got to thank Pat Healy of the Laker News on my hood, Kobe's Auto Recyclers, and my team Kinetic Racing. And thanks a lot to yourself, Noah, for putting on the show, and to Greg and everybody else who's involved in organizing the league. Always have a blast running, and nice to be out here.
Thank you much for your time, Richard. I do appreciate it. And once again, congratulations on the podium finish.
Take care.
Number 41 of Richard Drake with Kinetic Racing, able to secure himself a great finish of second. What a run! I mean, just the speed that he had behind himself is insane, and he's definitely going to be putting on a show for us over at Martinsville. With that, though, let's go and bring up your race winner, previous truck winner, Wes Gallo. Wes, open the booth. Do you read me?
I sure do, buddy.
A race win on the final lap, nonetheless. Like, what a move for you.
I am going to be another world of insufferable in this Discord server for the rest of time. I got a truck win last week in Michigan. I've been milking the crap out of that. You think that's bad? Oh, you who?
Honestly.
Jeez. Yeah.
I'm terrified to know what that would look like if you got the championship.
Oh no, I'd have to get kicked from the server. It'd be embarrassing for everybody, including me.
Perfect. Still, I mean, I've said before, like, what a character you are here in CASCAR. You definitely make one of the people that make this league itself. And I mean, another race win, this time in the Cup Series for you, especially within the same season, is just another level of pretty cool.
I can confidently 100% tell you that the best driver did not win this race, and I'm cool with it. When you brought me up earlier, I told you I'm not good here, and we had that late caution. I knew I wasn't going to be able to make it to the end on gas, and I got that caution I needed, fresh tires, and that strategy won it. That's all that happened.
Yeah, I mean, it just really did work out all, in line right at the very end. And honestly, it's been a pretty good points haul for you guys as well. Able to secure 2 podium positions and another top 10, but you did lose one teammate in the race.
Yeah, Brian, he took his faster part early. He thought he had a little bit more damage than he did, and it ended up costing him. It's kind of a gamble you take early in the race like that.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that kind of stuff has to happen, but you get there, and still, like I said, a good points haul for you guys, and I'm sure you guys are going to try to come back strong next week over at Martinsville.
Yeah, it definitely sucks for Brian. Before the season's out, him and Jeff are going to have a win. Everyone's going to make it into the playoffs on EGR. I'm really not too stressed about it. Sucks for him today, but long term, it'll be fine for him.
Yeah. Still, a great run out of you guys, and, your strategy worked out perfectly, and you got yourself a fantastic race win. Richard Drake was giving you some pretty big applause for the moves you're able to pull there, and I know you and your team are very excited, so I'll let you go and get to celebrating with them. Who do you have to thank for such a great race car here tonight?
All right, I'll be more prepared for this than I was in the mid-race thing. Weak Designs is on the car. I've got Four Cloak Media, of course, Helmet Stalker, Equipment Geek, the guys at Equipment Geek Racing, and just Weak Enterprises in general. Sport Star. Try to think of something weird. I came up with something about an otter under a bed, but even I couldn't piece that together into making sense. So I guess you can figure that yourself.
All right. Noted. Once again, thank you much for your time, Wes. I do appreciate it, and congratulations on your fantastic race win.
Hey, thanks, buddy. I earned it based on pure talent, speed, and General sexiness, really.
We'll talk to you, Wes.
Love you.
Number 07 of Wes Gallo with Weeg Designs, Fisher Sport Racing getting himself the race win. I want to thank each and every single one of you out tonight for joining us here for the Atlantic Carrier 160. Thank you once again to Atlantic Carrier for sponsoring this week's race here in Lebanon, Tennessee with the 1.33 mile concrete oval. I've been Owen Walter here on twitch.tv/4o'clock. I got to have one final thank you over to Atlantic Carrier, who does refrigeration services out in southern Canada and the Nova Scotia region more specifically. You can check them out at atlanticcarrier.com. Check me over at fourcloak.net for more information on Fourcloak Media Services and all the things we provide. CASCAR.net can provide you all with all your CASCAR information. Get your great stuff there. You can join the Weeg Designs Truck Series for free. You can join in late season and have some great races going forward. I know everybody is very excited to get moving on that as well. And thank you once again to Schroeder Plumbing for giving us a fantastic, not only racing series, but each race every single week. And you can check them out over in southeast Wisconsin, where they do display plumbing. They also do like for display objects, home and commercial plumbing as well. Once again, we'll get you more contact information and specifics when we can. But if you want to get merch for that stuff, I have the sweatshirt here with the schedule on the back and the other CASCAR merch. You can check out my shop, which you can check out over on fourcloak.net. Just scroll through there and you'll find it. You can get all your CASCAR merch as well as everybody else's as well. So with that, thank you very much once again for you to watching, and we'll see you all next week at the Jim Hallahan 100 next week or on Tuesday. Oh, no, not this Tuesday. Next Tuesday with Tuesday Night Trucks, where they're going to be rounding out their season within 2 races, if I'm not mistaken. And with that, that's been all. I've been Noah Walter here on Twitch.tv/4cloak. See y'all next time. I'll see you.